Good evening and welcome back to Radio Works World, all the way from South Africa. And I'm Mareli Scott, your Authenticity host, with episode 12 of my Authenticity series. And it is called Authentic Legacy. And Marina, welcome to the conversation. It's always great to have you on board. And, talking to you as well brings so many things, brings up so many other ideas and new ideas, and it's always great talking with you.
Thank you so much, Mareli. And you know what? It is my privilege, my true privilege, being here with you and witnessing how you grow into the person who actually can deliver their life mission, their passion. And you live your life with purpose. And I really want to share this with our listeners that I've always seen this in you. See, the very first moment we got in touch, I can't even remember what made that possible, but the very first time when you came across with this innocence and this sense of I'm ready to do whatever it takes, and that is the first step to make yourself available to greatness. I don't know what's next for you. I know it's amazing what's next. All I know is a lot of light, and you are going to share that light with loads of people who live under a very dark sky because they don't know there is light. Over to you, Mareli.
Wow, Marina, thank you so much. And I must say, everybody around me and myself included really, like you said, witness how I've grown in all areas of my life, actually. I remember before the first interview with you, I didn't know what to expect. I thought, I don't know what she's going to ask me. What am I supposed to say? And then my mentor who got me into this, Philip Jan, just told me, just don't think, connect with her now and just do it. And that's what I did. And I remember you just saying, okay, I'm going to count you down. You're going to host the show. And I was freaking out. But it's one of the best things that could have ever happened to me. And this whole journey, just to help me, to give me the confidence and the platform to get my message out there, to structure my message. And by sharing my message and putting it on paper and, delving deep every week, preparing, it really built so much confidence. And, made me see that, I have life experience that I can share with people. I have a message, and to see as well how it influences people, on social media, and even people walking up to me. Or it's so easier now for me to share my message and to share it clearly, and it builds a lot of confidence and everything. So I want to thank you for that.
Wow, Maria, I feel very humbled. I know you have a very, very exciting topic tonight, and I can't wait. I got a new notepad and a very good pen, so I'm ready to write down.
Okay. So it's quite interesting, and I believe a lot of things happens for a reason and at the right time. And last week I had a lot to do with legacy, the whole concept of legacy. But I'll tell you more about that. But before that, even before that, I was thinking about the topic legacy, and are you just creating memories, or are you building a legacy? So it was so interesting. I already decided on my topic, and then last week, this time, I was at a very nice event in Joburg, and it was about celebrating the legacy of Nelson Mandela. And we were about a group of 100 people that came together from, all industries and celebrities, and, but all there for one common goal. And it made me start to think, imagine if they were all coming together to celebrate me. just imagine that, and how much, how far I still have to go to maybe have a fraction of that impact, and what responsibility I have. And it was so amazing to me that so many people around the world knows Nelson Mandela and knows about his legacy. And he's just one example of many people who have left legacies. And on Friday, I was invited to do a private tour with Robert Kiyosaki, that was here in the country, of the Nelson Mandela Foundation as well. And I also didn't know that beforehand, but unfortunately, he's the plane he was on had a medical emergency, and they had to turn around. So he couldn't be on Friday, only came on Saturday. So that didn't work out, but I believe it will happen in the future. And I was also thinking, people go there to see, to just be there where Nelson Mandela was, to sit in his chair, to take a picture there, to see the letters that he wrote when he was in prison, and things like that. And it made me think, what big impact did he make? And imagine people wanting to come to your house or your old house when you're not here anymore, to see letters you wrote, or to see the chair you used to sit in, and things like that. So, but let me start. So, in order to determine if you're only creating memories or are you building a legacy, so to think about memories, what is memories? This usually created through experiences or moments in time that you will remember. It can be holidays you were on, or something that you did for the first time in your life, or it can be bad or good experiences. But we tend to want to remember the good ones, time spent with family and friends, and or birthdays and things like that. But a lot of times it just stays in our minds, in our heads, and that's how we remember it. But if you create a legacy influence and inspire the way others live their lives, it has the potential to do that. And whether you're still on earth, or if you are not here, that can influence someone's life or the course of someone's life. You can create a movement with a legacy. And if you think about the statement, um, think about people like I mentioned, Nelson Mandela. These are all people that went against the norm, that pushed boundaries, and lived fully for the greater good of others. They didn't focus on the obstacles they might face, or present that they are in presently. It doesn't stop them. They think about the future. If you create a legacy, you think about the future. Think about the greater good you can do for others, and for others in the future, even if you have to sacrifice something. And then I want to ask you, how do you inspire others? Um, you cannot inspire anyone if you live in your comfort zone, or by living a mediocre life and settling for less and not being happy. You cannot inspire someone by doing that. In order to leave a legacy, you need, we're going back to the first episode, you need to push your comfort zone. You need to be your authentic self and live that way. You cannot inspire someone by being someone else, and you cannot create a legacy by not living the life you're supposed to live, by trying to live someone else's life or copying someone else. You cannot leave a legacy like that. But before you start that, you need to know, what legacy do you want to leave behind? What legacy do you want to build? How do you want people to remember you? And that's long after you're gone. Will people still remember you? And don't think about it in a way that you want to be popular, or that's not the focus here. But in order for people to remember you long after you're gone, you have to leave something behind. You need, and not just memories. That means that you made a difference in this world, and you made an impact in this world, a positive influence. And to create authentic legacy, I believe you need to align your authentic self and your message with the way that you live. It has it has to be in line. You cannot, and I mean that's very difficult, but you everything needs to line up. And um, you need to be unapologetically you and share your message with others, even if it goes against the norm. Usually, it goes against the norm. It's very difficult to impact the world when you are just following everybody else. And it means you have to pave the way. It might be very difficult, and it is very difficult. And by doing that, you give others the courage to do the same. A lot of people don't have the courage to start something on their own or to go for their dreams. But if they see you do that, they see you pushing your boundaries, doing good, going after your dreams, living fully, that other people see that it's possible and that they can do it as well, and that it's possible to achieve greatness if you want to. And like I said earlier, by focusing on creating a legacy, you will focus on the future. You will not focus on what's what's good now. What can I? Now it is good to be present as well, but your focus shouldn't stop there. You cannot think what feels good now. What feels good to do now. You need to be focused on the future. What impact will it make? What does it will it have a positive influence in the future? Will it make a positive impact? And that also means that you need to be more responsible with the way you are living and the choices you make. And you need to be more conscious of the choices you are making every day to know if it's on course to your legacy that you want to end with. Your whole life should be an example for others and pave the way. Um, Over to Marina.
Wow, Marley. I was thinking now that it's so true
Sorry.
what you said, and those words are going to stay with me for a very long time. Um, I'm thinking that for some reason, by choice, you could use the legacy of the void or the legacy of your life. And I was thinking about myself actually. You always make me think beyond the point where um, I would usually take my thoughts. So my goal, my life, it doesn't revolve around the 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 f- the desire to live long years or 200 years for example, or 100 years. So I really don't care, because I know I have to use every single day to create something that will last when I'm gone. And when you live your life to make yourself known, I think you put too much focus on what is not important. But what is really important is to feel present, and to help others notice that you are not there. But
Mm,
when you create that feel of connection with other people, and that bond with total strangers, including yourself, is all about the fact that the world is not enough without you. Being aware that yes, you might choose to leave the legacy of the void, or you might choose to leave the legacy of your life, but you have to remember that the world is incomplete without you. You have to remember that it is your moral duty, it is your divine job to make your present last when you're gone.
mm. Wow, that's very true. And I didn't even think about that. There's two sides to it. Like you said, um, you know, the opposite that you just mentioned, letting people feel the void without you there. Wow. Um, so I wrote down five factors that's involved in building a legacy. If you want to build a legacy, there are five factors involved. Um, so the first one is identity and values. So, like the heading says, first of all, you must know and be extremely connected with your authentic self if you want to leave a legacy. And you need to know what you represent and what you want to represent so you can get there. And you need to know what are the beliefs and the values that influence your behavior and your attitude. What what do others know? Do others people know your authentic self? Because it's your responsibility to show it to the world and to reveal it to the world, to let people know you as your authentic self. It's your responsibility to get yourself out there. And what do, what do you represent and what do you bring to the world? Do people know that? Because you need to put it out there. Like a previous episode also said, you know, you teach people um, how to treat you. This way, you also teach people how to perceive you. And in order to do that, your message need to be consistent every day. And like I said, it's a lifestyle of living. If you want to live authentically, it's a lifestyle and it's habits that you have to create every day. And number two is a set of guiding principles. So once you've established your set of values, and you need to figure out then how do they influence the principles that guide you. A lot of times we confuse the two, values and principles. But these principles should reflect your most authentic ideals and shape the expectations of others. So the way you live, and if it's consistent with your authentic self and authentic values, will give an expectation to other people. They will later on they will know what to expect from you, what behavior to expect from you, because they will know what type of person you are and what you are doing. Number three is courage. You need courage as an authentic leader, because like we said, if you want to leave a legacy, you cannot just be a follower. You have to be a leader. You have to pave the way. So, authentic leader, you must trust your inner voice and be brave enough to take calculated risks. And I say calculated because yes, you should take risks, but it should be calculated. Don't go blindly into anything. And, there must be some kind of calculation in this. And you need to trust yourself enough to challenge the norm. Like we said earlier as well, you need to want to leave a legacy, if you want to be an authentic leader, you need to challenge the norm. You need to swim upstream. You need to fight mediocrity. You cannot just disappear between all the people and just follow and be in your comfort zone. So, and it takes courage. It takes courage to go against the norm. A lot of people will think you're crazy or they wouldn't understand what you're doing. So, and number four is genuine care for other people. So that's also something I covered in a previous episode. But throughout your journey, you must continue to learn to better serve others and genuinely support their dreams and aspirations. Um, you cannot, yes, you need to focus on yourself and your legacy, but part of building a legacy is making a difference in other people's lives. And just how you have people helping you in your life, getting somewhere and supporting you, you need to do that for other people as well. You need to be there for them. You need to help people like you, Marina, like you are doing every day, helping people get their messages out there. It's a way you can help someone do that. And number 5 is responsibility. So legacy building is about being mindful of the opportunity and responsibility you have to serve others and your own advancement as well, but by serving other people. And only you can set the level of standard expected from you and from others. And this goes back to the previous point as well. Only you can, only you can set the standard for your life, for your legacy. You set the standard, and if you're consistent with that, that's the standard people will expect from you, and that's how people will perceive you. And in order to do that, you must be very self-disciplined. You need to hold yourself accountable to consistently deliver to those standards every day, every step of the way. And if someone's listening to this, I don't want you to get discouraged. Like everything else in life that is worth finding, or that's a reward, you have to work towards it. But the rewards are endless if you are willing to commit to this, to commit to every day focus on your authentic self, your authentic message, and align that with what you're doing every day to create your authentic legacy. And you need to be bold and persistent and consistent, and that's how you create a legacy. And it's not easy. It takes a lot of years, and I hope I can leave a fraction of a legacy like Nelson Mandela or Mother Teresa. And Marina, I think you're on your way, well on your way to leaving a big legacy like them.
Oh, I was thinking, how do you feel about leaving your legacy? Because right now you are living your legacy. You see,
Yes.
there are great poets, musicians, painters, and they created something 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago, 2 years ago, and they still alive.
Mm,
And the rest of us, we have the chance to learn from how much healing power is within their legacy, and start creating our own and start living the legacy. I think I'm going towards something that could be um, could be a movement, could be
mm.
in your own life time happening under your leadership. And how do you feel about naming a day within the year, a day that is called the Authenticity Day?
That would be awesome.
So name a day, and we'll work towards creating lots of celebrations when people get together and they share their story, they learn more about being authentic and creating an authentic legacy.
Wow. Should I give you a date now?
Yes,
I have one in
yes,
mind. So
yes.
I was thinking of the 10th of September.
Tens of okay, perfect.
It's
So
a Saturday as well, so hopefully that will, because it's going to be international. So I
yes,
was thinking Saturday is a good day for no excuses to join
yes,
in.
brilliant. So right now, breaking news, our listeners, we declare that on the 10th of September each year, we are going to celebrate together the International Authenticity Day.
Wow.
So you see,
10th
leaving
September.
your legacy, Mareli.
Yes.
And I know we are going to publish the book with all the transcripts from our great conversations, and we are going to make that
Oh,
available. Also, I hope you are going to join. I'm hosting a small event where is a workshop where you learn how to repurpose your content and how to create your book, how to create your own show, how to create everything you need to create your own legacy. But it's all for a greater reason. It's all because it's so much healing power in every single masterpiece. And I really believe that each one of us is like a coin. On one
Mhm.
side is the missing piece, on the other side is the masterpiece. And I really want, it's not about the product for me. It's not about the fact that now you are going to have your own program teaching authenticity around the world, but it's about the experience you create for your clients, the experience you create for other people who come to
Mhm.
understand that there is more to life, and no legacy is good enough unless you start to live it while you are still alive.
Wow, that's powerful and very true. Wow, I'm gonna
So
write it down.
getting ready for celebrations and opening your heart, and just understand that the miracle you've been waiting for, Mareli, landed,
Yeah.
arrived, is right here. It's you. From both of us, until next time, is goodbye.
Bye bye.